Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Double Feature Creature Crypt presents So Thirsty,
Yeah.
which is our January book. Where's my? There. Knew I had it here. Huzzah. So we normally open up about 7:15, and then we'll get started shortly
Yeah.
and give some people time to trickle in.
And
Get
then we'll go
situated.
over our usual announcements and stuff. Which we could actually probably start now while we're waiting for everybody to trickle in. Super excited for our pick next month. We have Meddling Kids. Which for those of us who grew up with Scooby-Doo and love Scooby-Doo, it is everything we could kind of like it. I was talking to Laura about this book earlier, and I said, this book feels like Scooby-Doo Wattpad fan fiction. So take that for what you will. It is very fun. Meddling Kids.
Very excited to mess with all the Scooby-Doo things.
Yeah.
Including so I thought it'd be fun because I've been wanting to do this for a while. If people want to join in, that's fantastic.
It
And we
also
can do
it also has I found this today when I was looking at it. I was like, "Oh my god." So those are our characters we'll be meeting next month.
That's adorable.
Okay, so continue because you found something super cool.
I did. So it's called the Conqueror Virtual Challenge, and I've looked at them for ages because there's a Lord of the Rings one, and of course I'm obsessed with the Lord of the Rings. But they have a Scooby-Doo one. And what it is like a virtual tracking thing for exercise. So you can do whatever you want. You can walk, you can connect it to your Apple Watch and just add in through your steps for the day. But the idea being that when it uploads into the app, it's tracking your progress according to whichever theme you've chosen. So if I'd done the Lord of the Rings one, all of the steps and stuff that I add in, it's adding up to walking from the Shire to Mordor.
That's actually super cool.
Right? They have like all of like ones in the real world as well. Like you can walk the Great Wall of China or along the cliffs of Dover, though I don't know why you'd want to do that.
Some people heard a rock song one time and
what are you gonna do? But there's a Scooby-Doo one, and as you're walking, you're going through an episode and trying to like solve the crime. Anyway, I thought it would be funny as a tie-in to people can watch me try and exercise my way through a Scooby-Doo.
I love this so much.
If anyone does want to join, you can do teams, but it is $50. So totally understand if everyone just wants to watch and see if I manage to do it or fail.
There we go.
Because you have to pick a time frame, and if you don't do it in the time frame, you don't get the super cool medal, which I will post in the Discord because it's so cool.
I love that you're like, I'll do anything for trinkets.
This is it. I'm like, this is what finally gets me to go back to the gym.
Yerp.
Tchotchkes. Little shiny trinkets for my crow brain.
I was about to say, because I had to explain to Sean today that we were crows. Yes. When I was at the Cracker Barrel, he was like, why do you think I'm standing between you and the shiny baubles? And I was like,
because I have crow brain.
Yeah, crow brain.
Crow brain like shiny things.
Ooh, let's see.
Okay. But yeah, that will be one of the exciting shiny tie-in things we hope to do next month with Meddling Kids.
Yeah. Oh my god, I feel like I'm about to sneeze, so forgive me if I like randomly stop. and try and get my life together for a second.
When you feel like you're about to sneeze, you just say pineapple.
I literally was about to be like,
Or watermelon. Fruit of your choice, I suppose. As long as it's like 3 syllables.
interesting. Watermelon. Okay. Oh my god, yay! I'm glad we went with meddling kids. It's been on my shelf forever. I love this.
Yay!
I've seen
Same!
oh, cool. Taylor's seen the Lord of the Rings one, but I love that they have other adventures.
They have a lot, even from when I last looked, which was sometime last year. Now they have like Star Trek ones, which
Ooh.
I'm not quite sure how that works, but there's so many. And you get to join like a little community and stuff.
That's
Anyway,
cool.
we'll see how I do.
That's super exciting.
Scooby-Doo!
And yeah, if anybody wants to join Laura in that fun little quest, we will open a thread on Discord and have it for you guys. Or even we could just have like an exercise thread where it's like just like fitness and fun.
Yeah. Encouragement is great.
Hell yeah.
So
I don't want to do anything ever unless somebody
me
is telling me I can do it. So
exactly. Unless I get a shiny trinket at the end and I have guilt to make me do it.
Guilt, camaraderie, and trinkets. That's all our crow brains need.
Well, yeah, I forgot to put my earrings in.
I got distracted. I found a pen. This sounds so bad. This will make sense to Laura because Laura understands who I am. I found a pen and it's a brush pen and it's a glittery, shiny yellow brush pen. And so I'm writing random words with the brush pen before we get started because it's so satisfying. And I literally found it right as you logged in. And I was like, crap. I was like, oh no.
No, my toys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like struggling to clean up all of my resin and silicone because I was like, oh no, I forgot what time it was.
You're like, ah!
There's
I know,
sticky things everywhere.
I was streaming Dead by Daylight before I hopped in here, and I was streaming it on for those of you who are in both groups, yay. But there's another sister group of ours called G3, and they are so fantastic and wonderful. But I usually go over there. They do like lots of buddy reads and stuff too. They're super, super kind and great. But the thing that I love the most is they have a bunch of girls that play Dead by Daylight, and it is so much fun. And I was like, well, if anybody's going to play, or maybe I'll just stream so they can watch. And I played Dead by Daylight for a hot minute because I got all my tasks done today. Snaps.
I also got my extra task done that you assigned me.
Yes!
I went to the library and picked up my book.
Hi,
Yay.
everyone must know. The new obsession, if you're feeling kind of down and you
Which who isn't?
Which who isn't right now? January is like 84 years long. Listen, do yourself the favor and check out Heartstopper because it's gonna cure you. It'll just cure you. It is unconditional love in its purest form. It's so gay in all the best ways. It's so wholesome. Literally, I'll die for Charlie and Nick. I love them so much. I started this earlier this week when I was sick, and I am now on the last book. But they're so good, and the artwork's super great. Got a big phone call out of the way, and then spent the day crocheting, so I don't think about so I don't think about January being 80 years long. That's fair. Yeah.
I also kind of befriended some of the ladies at my library while I was there because they told me they have a fiber crafts class / hangout every Tuesday. So I might go next week.
Oh yeah, girl.
they also had this right front and center, and I've been meaning to read it, so I got very excited and bought this.
Nice.
I love
Nice.
Bikini Kill, so I'm meaning to read this
You do
forever.
indeed. You do indeed.
Anyway. I was only mildly productive, but I was productive doing happy things.
I was like, productive nonetheless.
It was, yay. I'm so glad people are here. We can
Yay!
chat. Right. I'll take any wins of productivity.
Absolutely.
Well, I guess we could get started properly.
What time is it?
It is
Summertime.
just about
It is.
7:30.
Hell
So
yeah, guys.
it's time.
Welcome. I'm going to put my toys away because I will not pay it. I will not. I'm just going to keep getting distracted by the shiny pen.
Shiny pen.
If I keep having it out. Nobody wants that.
I want a shiny pen.
The shiny pen worked really good on one piece of paper, and then I went to another piece of paper, and it's like you can barely see it, which is stupid. It's even stupider because I just said I was putting it away. Laura, I'm really sad you didn't see that.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Checking what the Discord notification was.
I thought that. So I kept closing it and putting it on the desk and closing it and putting it on the desk, but I kept picking it up to play with it. So I threw it. I think it's like right there by the trash can. I like threw it. I went. I was like, now I can't play with it.
That's fair. I would have had to do the same thing.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let me pull back up my... I'm going to just make a quick announcement. Starting the... Everyone... Oh, I need the link to the YouTube.
It's in the Google Doc.
I love you. I'm hella gay for my bestie.
Ever since I found that there was a link directly to the YouTube live, I was like, oh, this is so easy now.
I know. I just posted it in the Discord so that way everyone can join.
Yay.
And I have my discussion notes up.
Same. Look at us being organized.
Yeah. So I'm going to put my both headphones on. I understand that I'm in my gaming headset right now. So just forgive me, guys, if I look a little silly. I hopefully sound better this time. And yeah, sweet. Yay. I love to hear that. And I also can hear you guys better. So this might just be the fit for me. We'll see. But yes, so welcome everybody. We are your hosts. I am Kayleigh, head ghoul here at the Double Feature Creature Crypt, and we have the amazing and wonderful above me,
Lady Tartan, aka Laura.
Yay! And we are happy to have all of you here.
Yes.
Yes. So our discussion today is going to be over Rachel Harrison's So Thirsty. So if you didn't read that, let you know you're in the wrong video, wrong chat. Um,
Go check out one of the reading sprints and then meet us
yeah.
back here when you're done.
Yeah. Also, last disclaimer, this is full of spoilers. We will be having spoilers this discussion. So if you have not finished the book or if you found the wrong video, once again, go back. Press pause. We'll be here for you when you come back. But for those of us who have, and we are all caught up, we are going to get started on our book discussion. We're also going to do things a little bit different tonight. Lady Tartan is actually going to be our lead discussion runner. Everyone give a round of applause at home. We're very excited. Because I think she's super brilliant and has a lot to say, and I talk over her a lot, and that's not fair. And B, when we were going over the discussion notes for this and putting the slides in to for StreamYard, I loved her notes so much and everything that she had to say about this book. So I am very excited. I hope you all will too. And with that, we're gonna get started.
And now I'm nervous this is going to suck.
It's not. I won't let you suck.
I know.
Impossible. We made it through college.
It's true. No one left behind.
Yeah.
All right.
Make George W. proud.
Yay, Maggie's here.
Mags! Hi, babes. I miss you. Memes, of course.
Memes and other random out of context spoiler images that I found funny.
Gotta love it. It's like little naps.
So we have, starting in the top left, and we'll go across. This was my amazing. I couldn't believe I found this. It looked so cool. I was looking earlier, and Kayleigh's like, "You should look up Shag and Wagon, haha." And I'm like, "That's literally what I googled."
Yeah.
But I was like, "Hey, it even has the bench." The glorious bison.
I think my favorite one here is your Addams Family Values. How you were so excited to put that in.
I was so excited about it. As soon as it got to the part where Sloane was talking about how she felt like a victim and how she'd always like associated with this, I was like, in my head, it was just, I'll be the victim all of your life.
Oh my god. Yes, I need to appreciate that you put the vampires from What We Do in the Shadows in here, because reading the entire thing, I was like, that's it. Eli is just...
In my head, Eli sounded exactly like Nandor.
Yes! He did! Thank you! I'm glad I'm not alone. And they all had this ridiculous, like, What We Do in the Shadows energy, where they're like, we're vampires, but we're not, like, villains.
But we're cool vampires.
Yeah,
Fucking guy. Also, if you haven't seen What We Do in the Shadows, I highly recommend it. It's also finished now, so you don't have to wait for seasons. You can binge the whole thing, but it's glorious.
It's really good. Okay. Oh, yes, and a couple of dum-dums. We're just a couple of dum-dums.
And also the day the music died, plane crash.
Ooh.
And if you need the Titanic one explained, I will explain it later.
She caught me off guard with the Titanic one, but
I did. I think I sent it to you completely out of context. Like, I just got to this part.
I'll be honest, when you got there, I didn't realize that was the part you were talking about. I thought you were talking about like much later. Like my brain was like, never let go, Jack, never let go. And I was thinking about like you were towards the end, and I was like, oh no. So I was what?
referring to the ship in the Renaissance fair.
Now it makes much sense. It makes so much sense. Dum Dums is what I gave to Rachel as a gift for this
That's so
release.
cool.
Oh, Taylor. I love Taylor. Oh, that's right. You gave her Dum Dums, and then who gave her the bracelets? Those were so stinking cute because she even wore them to my release. And then somebody got her earrings. I think it was Teo. I think Teo got her earrings. Maybe it was Tiff. But somebody got her earrings and she wore them to my signing as well in Dallas. And it was just so wholesome. And we were like just talking about everyone from all the different signings. It was super great. So yeah, Rachel's just a freaking gem and I love her. May, yes, May. I love May. Yes, I love What We Do in the Shadows. Of course, Tiff and Teo gave her the earrings. That's what I thought. I was like, I think so. Tiff and Teo, but Teo doesn't anymore. They work at Books Are Magic up in Brooklyn. They're so wonderful. And Teo no longer works at Books Are Magic, but now does cool library stuff. So we love it. Yeah.
Let's get started.
Yeah. So
our first slide.
Slayomi.
Or salami.
Salami.
I was just gonna put a picture of a salami, but
I love that.
decided not to.
Slayomi.
Slayomi. Our two main characters. Because I kind of felt like Naomi was definitely a main character.
Oh yeah.
Even though like it's all from Sloane's point of view, but Naomi is equally as present.
I definitely agree with that. Especially since like even if she is not doing like active things, Sloane is still actively talking about her. So yeah, right. I'll give you full credit there.
Why are you so obsessed with me? She is always talking and thinking about Naomi. That's a good point. Like, I feel like the majority of the time, that is what Sloane's brain was on.
You ever hear that phrase where it's like, the things that annoy you about other people are the things that you really dislike about yourself?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, yikes.
Yeah, this book felt like a personal attack at times. Especially when it was the fact that it was her 36th birthday and I am 36. I was like,
yeah,
I don't like this.
I read this as I was turning 30 and I was like, and I remember messaging Rachel and being like, I've already had like a quarter life crisis and turning 30 just feels so unreal. And she oh God, she gave me the best advice. She was like, turning 30 is a gift. Aging is a gift. And people just don't like realize how beautiful it is that you get to like grow into yourself and grow into another day. And when you age, like somehow you drop the expectations around you of other people.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that's something we'll talk about later, but I was like, oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
So I just like persevered with the book as I'm like, I started it. I think I started it in like April or May, and I was just enjoying it. Like I was just taking my time and dragging it out, and I finished it like I think like the day after, no, like 2 days after my birthday. I had finished it, and I was just like,
yeah, it was a. I'm glad I wasn't alone in feeling very attacked. It seems like we all felt that way. So
I'm glad we all. I'm glad we all were personally victimized by this book.
Right? Raise your hand if you've been personally victimized by Rachel Harrison.
In a weird way, this is what So Thirsty made me appreciate. We all age and aging is living. Yes.
Definitely. But before we talk about aging more,
Slow
Uh,
me.
Slow me. One thing that really stood out to me about Sloane is, amusingly, from the meme that we brought up, was the whole idea of victimhood and
Mm.
how she was. I found her annoying a lot of the time, especially near
Yeah.
the beginning. Even though I do feel it was some of her reactions were definitely reasonable. Um, it was still annoying. Like, oh, stop whining, just go with it. Make out with the hot vampire guy. You know what? Like,
I I
have
felt
fun
like
in the
that a
orgy.
lot.
Why not? Your husband's cheating on you. Go for it.
You
But
know, I felt like that a lot until they got to the truth or dare scene. And
yeah,
when she starts talking about like how and who she used to be and the way she just like ate life and gave no fucks and she really had to pay like a giant price for it. Um and it caused her to just start like cutting off parts of herself. I felt very similar to you being like, get over it. Until I kind of was like, oh, I know what that's like.
yeah. It was until I think at that truth or dare scene, she showed some more self awareness that made it
Yeah.
a little differently. When she's like, "Nobody hurt me. I hurt myself."
Nobody
Oh,
can hurt you if you're the only person to give yourself the permission to hurt yourself. You kind of
yeah,
rob other
yeah.
people of that.
Um, and like, yeah, she's completely like, almost curated this life, which is what she kind of realizes at the end, of course, where it keeps her down so that she can feel that way. And she's stuck with this awful husband for no other reason than it's comfortable.
What man sets you up to go on a vacation so he can cheat in the house? Like, don't worry, babe. I got you something for your birthday. It's a girls' trip. Bye. Like,
And also just the lack of awareness in knowing that they have like a ring camera.
dude, like she ain't gonna check it. Like his ass is just messy. I'm like, girl, you could just that's the thing though. She knows she deserves better, and so she settles for this.
Yeah. I mean, and that's a cause of a lot of the tension between her and Naomi is Naomi knows she knows she deserves better too.
Yeah.
It is frustrating. Um,
I just hate the dying was the thing that brought Sloane to life. Like she could have been doing these things before. Divorce your husband.
that's actually a really good point. These vampires, was it ever stated that they are the undead?
So
I
Rachel
mean, I know
kind
it's
of
kind of assumed, but
Rachel
sorry, go
kind
ahead.
of in in her book tour when we went to her book signing, she had kind of mentioned that it was really cool that she got to basically write her own rules for vampirism. Because she stayed with like a lot of the, you know, canonical things, but then there's a lot to be left open to interpretation that she had a lot of fun playing with. So, um, who knows?
Right?
Rachel knows, but
Rachel knows.
Rachel knows.
I'm gonna send her a list of questions after this. Like, hi, I would like to know these things. Thank you.
The amount
Um,
of disrespect. He didn't care
for
that they had a
real.
ring camera. He brought the other woman to their house. Yeah, like and you know, like didn't even have the decency to do it on the couch. You know, he did it in their bed. Like,
Of course. Didn't change the sheets
nah,
before or after. Why are men? Um,
our favorite phrase.
it really is. I took
Yes.
liberties. I'd have taken liberties with those vampires too. Hey,
Hey.
hey.
Nice.
Um, but yeah, just
Um,
yeah, Sloane's whole mindset was very it was very unique for a main character. and I feel like a very brave choice to make a character who is potentially going to be disliked for a lot of the book because she's being annoying.
Well,
She's
and it's not
harshening the buzz, man.
it's not that she's just being annoying. I mean, there's and I'm so interested to hear about how some of y'all saw this, like experience this book, because I know there's a group of us. Like one of the reasons I really enjoy Rachel's writing is because she writes like a Jersey girl, and there's so much in it that is like atmospheric and like or some things that I'm beginning to learn are just so quintessential to like the Northeastern experience. And a lot of the times when she leans into it, I find that there's so much polarizing opinions. And I'm really interested to see like how the dream mall and everything went over with everybody, because I know like
Mm.
malls up north, like you could take them from our cold dead hands, but they're also super dated and kind of weird. And they're not like down here in Texas where they're like, oh, we'll just modernize. We'll just do like an outdoor expansion. And they're like, no, we will be the 1980s until we die. This carousel, let's go. But it's charming in a way.
Yeah,
I wish she had
for
done more
sure.
with the immortality. I felt like she didn't make a confident decision until the very end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would agree with that. I wish there'd been a little bit more, just even just another chapter of them together once she'd made the decision. Um,
I
hmm.
As much as there's things that I really am like, I wish, I want, I also understand why not. Because, and this is the kind of hard thing about Sloane that I think, I think, personally think, a lot of people discredit is Sloane is just saying what a lot of us would do in those situations already. And it's ugly. Like it's ugly things that we have to acknowledge about ourselves and
Mhm.
learn to move through.
That's absolutely it. Is the reason I felt like she annoyed me and she was frustrating me, and all of this was pretty much because I identified with her way too hard.
Yeah, because there was
Like you said, things that annoy you about other people.
the gonna
Mhm.
amplify. Then you're gonna be like, I don't like that because now I have to acknowledge things about myself.
Right? Like I don't like it. Mm.
Hmm.
But
It was annoying, but practical. Yes, very
yes,
much so. Very much so.
yeah, yeah,
Um, and like that's the thing, right? Like as we get older, as we age, Sloane, Naomi does this too, but Naomi does it a little bit differently. But Sloane is so hesitant to Sloane is so hesitant to make a choice that makes her feel alive, because feeling alive is what did her in. Like chasing those highs, doing everything like that ultimately was what brought her downfall.
yeah,
Because she just couldn't get enough. And then what happens when you can't get enough and you're a thrill seeker? You end up in very dangerous situations. And she lost being able to do something that brought her like so much joy, you know?
yeah. And then spends pretty much the rest of her life until we pick up the book at the book, denying herself any joy
Yeah.
that
It's
isn't fairly superficial.
it's hard. And then you have Naomi on
Who
the
is,
other hand,
yeah,
who she she deals with the same things, but she attacks them from a different angle, right? She has a she settles for a guy when she could do better and knows she could do better and deserves better. She settles for somebody who
And for all her exuberance and living life to the fullest, she settles for a guy who kind of overshadows her.
Yeah. Yeah, like he won't let her make her own decisions. He
Yeah.
won't let her
With the breakup scene when his initial thing is, "Are you quitting?"
yes,
No, you asshole, I'm breaking
I'm
up
breaking
with
up with
you.
you. There's like this little gnat that I keep seeing, and I'm like, it keeps bothering me. I'm so sorry.
But yeah, I thought it was very interesting that their partners were like opposite sides of the same coin in the way that they were opposite sides of the same coin.
Yeah, very,
Um,
very much so.
this is gonna ruin the tour.
She is
It's
seeking that
funny
same
and
energy, but
timely.
can't keep up with it. Yeah, very much so.
Um,
But you had some really good things to say about Naomi.
yeah, I mean, along the same lines of her, like she's got this the world tour. um, her appearance of having no restraint, never denying herself anything. And that's how Sloane has this view of her until, ironically, someone outside of their dynamic points out the differences and she sees that they're more similar. But in all of that, like, Naomi quit smoking. Like, Naomi, I don't think was ever as out of control as Sloane perceived her to be.
Right.
Because let me tell you, queen smoking is not easy. And she did it in an environment that's like
Sex, drugs, rock and roll.
sex, drugs,
Yep.
rock and roll. And she was like, okay, yeah, I can do this. Like, that's wild. And I think that says a lot about her character.
I think sometimes
She,
people and I know we're kind of touched on this in a little bit, but I think sometimes people will I think there is a genuine love. I think there is a genuine love between Sloane and Naomi. And there's obviously a lot of history, but there's also some people will keep others around just to validate themselves. And I think one of those things is how Naomi Sloane is consistently dogging on Naomi for all the things that Sloane wants to be doing.
yeah, absolutely. And it also makes her feel like, oh, well, Naomi's out of control. I am in
I'm
control.
so in
I'm
control.
better than that.
Lets her
And
get on her high horse.
yeah, absolutely. And we'll talk a bit more about them as friends in a
Yeah.
later slide. But one thing I just wanted is their banter was so authentic.
Oh, so good. Nobody can insult you like your friend and talking about
Right?
your
The
Dyson.
Dyson comment, like that is 100% only something someone who knows you better than anyone can say to cut you. Like you and your fucking Dyson. And it's like, hey,
Yeah, I really like it. And you do too when you come over. Like,
right? Like
we talk about him. We named him.
Ugh. Slow me. The heart of our book.
So, our
Yeah,
next
it was
one.
very real. So years start coming and they don't stop coming.
Back to the rules and you hit the ground running.
Mhm.
Okay, we gotta stop before we get taken down for copyright.
Um, anyway,
Rip.
yeah, we touched on aging before, but I think one thing we had discussed when we were putting this together is the big thing in this book is how aging, the focus on aging is not just on the physical part of it. Like this isn't really a beauty horror book at all. It's not. It's about aging, but it's not in the way most. It's not. Yeah,
It's
Rachel doesn't
aging in
come
the
at it from
modern
the same.
sense.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's more than the physical part. One of my favorite quotes in the whole book was on page 183. And so it says, aging isn't just about our bodies decaying while we're still inside them. It's about living with the accumulation of experiences, the heavy burden of the ugly ones, and the longing for the beautiful. Like, the emotional baggage that comes with aging is something no one really talks about.
Yeah. And not just that, but it's not just the baggage, but there's when you've been infantilized, right? Like society has infantilized us to be children. And then suddenly we are an age where there's no more milestones, right? Like there's no more big milestones. There's no more things that you can infantilize. All of a sudden, you're having to figure out what qualifies as an adult, right? Like what and the truth of the matter is, up until very, very, very recently, it was who can hide their shit the best and look the most put together, which this book does a great job of showing you that that's not the answer. That's not how you age. It will age you if you live like that, instead of understanding that, like, to find what makes you, and it sounds silly and privileged, but to find what makes you have a life worth living, the
Mm-hmm.
things that make you happy, that is what makes you an adult. Because you know where it's prioritizing happiness without the detriment or risk of others
Yeah.
or
I
yourself.
actually had an interesting conversation exactly like this with someone when I was working as a handler.
Oh, I love Courtney. Yes,
And
sorry. Continue. I
it
was
was
reading the comments.
it feels weird to like name drop. Um but he was saying one of the things we talked about was the differences in adulthood now are so are like you said really is finding your own joy and following what you like. Is we talked about how adults dressed when we were young, like what you thought of as an adult. And like adult
Yeah.
men, they wore, suits, slacks, shirts with buttons that were ironed, and proper shoes. And now like this particular person was now I feel like it's weird not being it. Like he's wearing like essentially like the male equivalent of athleisure, like sweatpants and things, but they're fancy, they're nice, and that's a totally normal thing for an adult man to wear these days. I mean, obviously there are still situational,
Right. Like situational attire.
situationally appropriate attire, but it's I just thought it was a very interesting point that a lot of people across all different demographics and ways of life all have, yeah, perfect timing, Taylor. All had collectively had the same conversations about this.
Yeah.
It's like we planned that.
Well, I mean, like growing up, it's just trying to figure out who the most adultiest adult in the room is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like who's adulting better than you, who's faking it more than you are, because
Right.
the wisdom
I
of growing
need.
up is realizing absolutely no one has their shit together. We're all just faking it.
We just have to designate the adultiest adult for that situation to be in charge at that time.
Exactly. Who is going to get us through this the best? Who is going to, which I honestly think that is one of Naomi's strengths, is for all of the shit Sloane gives her, Naomi gets them through a lot of situations. Like
Yeah.
Naomi has plans, Naomi has rule book, Naomi has like as silly and joking as it is, but she's a girl who knows exactly what she wants and how she's going to go and get it and how she's going to get out of it too. Like she's planned it from A to B to C. Like the little quip in the book where she's like, Naomi's pro hot hookup tip is to tie your underwear around your wrist so it doesn't get lost. And I was like, that's a woman who knows. Like that she just knows
Yeah.
what she's doing in life
She
right
has
there.
made a mistake before, learned from it, and adapted. She
That's
has
it.
made
In
changes.
one way or another. Absolutely.
Um, and even her, like, Naomi had a sense of accountability that I think comes from graceful aging, and
Yes.
like the conversation they had in the hotel when Naomi's just like, look, I know that I am the one that got us into this. I made the plans with Illy. Like, without that, yeah, we wouldn't be in this situation. I'm dealing with it as best I can, but you can't shut me out. Like, it was such a, once again, Naomi is not the complete ball of mess
Trouble. Yeah.
and trouble that Sloane likes to think of it, because it makes her feel better.
Made me think of Pamela
Pamela Anderson.
Anderson's hair tutorial where she was like, if you don't have hair, if you don't have a hair tie, use
I
a
just use a
thong.
song.
Oh my god.
Love her.
I
Love
remember that.
her.
Core memory unlocked right there.
I have this, like, I want to watch the Pam and Tommy series so much. I mean, I love Sebastian Stan,
I know.
but
Then we
I
support
know that
she was
Pamela
done
Anderson
dirty.
was very upset about it, and it seemed like it
I feel
very
like
much
she was
sort of
done dirty.
glamorized what happened to her. And so I'm like,
Men.
oh, I feel like I shouldn't watch it. I don't want to participate in that, but also it looked kind of good. But
I will say the actors did a great job, but
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, I'm like,
definitely
I don't want to do
not
that.
supportive. Not supportive. The world needs more Pam
Mhm.
Andersons. Hell
It
yeah.
really does. Also, the fact that she's been showing up once again. Taylor, do you have access to our Google Doc? Are you planning this?
You know what? We actually
You
Taylor
probably need access to our
Taylor
Google
will
Doc.
have access eventually, guys.
Because what I was gonna say is that Pam Anderson's like, she's very passionate about, like, showing up places without makeup. Like, she'll come down a red carpet and just like, yeah, I don't
Stun.
need to, like, I'm aging, it's fine. And
Yeah.
Brooke Shields too is also super
Um
passionate, and she just brought out that book. Like, Brooke Shields isn't allowed to age.
oh my god,
And
I
that's,
almost said Nelly Furtado, but I didn't mean her. I meant Alicia Keys. Alicia Keys
yeah,
she does that too. She's like, we're just
like,
aging.
I'm aging, like, it's fine.
It's
And that's one
normal.
other, I think, aspect of aging in So Thirsty they talked about, is that there's power in it that you don't realize until you're there. Like, the quote, like, I was so preoccupied lamenting my invisibility as a woman getting older. I didn't realize it could be weaponized. I didn't realize it's part of our power. No
No
one
one
thinking we
thinking we
have
have
any.
any.
And I was like, oh, like, I've got chills reading that. Like, oh, like,
Oh yeah, because you're only a mother maiden or a crone. And when you're a
mhm,
crone, I mean it's like nobody reads a book anymore. So, if you're a crone, nobody thinks you have power. They just think you're old. I'm
mhm,
like, but the crones are the ones that cause the problems in the stories, y'all.
right? But yeah, let's all age gracefully according to our,
Or like cannibals. Your choice.
yeah.
Just age like you know yourself.
I like that. That's a good way to put it. Age like you know yourself.
I mean, there you go. She excited men in the 90s and inspires women now. Holla. What a way to go.
I got the points on the Google Doc backwards with these 2 slides.
It's okay. We can skip
So
down and scoop up.
scroll and then scroll back. So romantic versus platonic love, which was a big theme. And this was your slide addition. So I will let you kick us off with this.
So romantic love versus platonic love. I know we talked about the husbands and stuff and the husbands and the boyfriends earlier. But it's easy for people, I say easy, we spend a lot of this book trying to chuck the men out of the story. But it's easier for us to accept that we will have many loves come and go from our life because we are taught that there are, like, you will have more than one relationship. You have to kiss a lot of fish, you know, you got to kiss a lot of fish in the sea, a lot of frogs for a prince, you know, things like that, right? But what people don't ever really talk about is it's the same way with friends. You're gonna go through a lot of friends before you find the very, very few that will stay with you forever. And it's hard for people to accept that because we are taught that we'll be friends to the end. You make a friend and that friend is there to stay. You have to love them more than anything else. They're just, we're taught, like, through all of our media and programming and just the stories that are given to us, platonic love should be there forever. And the truth of the matter is, it's a relationship just like anything else. You have to work on it. And I think that the dynamic of Sloane and Naomi shows that so well, because there's not just history there, right? There's so much more. It's not just history, but it's like, how do you keep loving someone that is able to be vulnerable enough with you to show you all of the ugly parts of themselves? And how do you not walk away? And if you can't do that in a platonic relationship, what makes you think you can do that in a romantic one? Because don't get me wrong, the romance with Henry is hot. It's hot. But at the end of the day, what's going to keep Henry and Sloane from falling into Sloane and her husband at the beginning of the book? The only thing that's going to keep...
I can't remember her name. The one that liked to wear lingerie.
Oh, I don't remember her name, but I know who you're talking about.
She's like, yeah, Henry's not going to save you. Your friend's not going to save you. You have to save yourself. Like, you're going to make him miserable if you stay the same, just like you done with your friend. It's like, ouch, tough love. But yeah, I think that's such a good point that I hadn't really thought about. It's,
sorry, this was really important to me in the book. I was like,
platonic love is a lot more binding than romantic love because there isn't attraction. It's just support. Yeah.
It's a lot more vulnerable. I mean, when you think about it, it's a lot more vulnerable. Because think about it. How many times have you, like, put the most ugly side of yourself in front of your friends, and your friends have still, like, or you have thought it was the most ugly parts of you, and your friends have, like, supported you and loved you and helped you through it, you know? And then when, like, people aren't told it's okay that if you find people along the way that you can't love that way, you know, like, you don't have to love them the same way you wouldn't continue loving a bad partner. Like, if a friend treats you poorly, you don't have to stay in that relationship. And that is going to be fuel for my commentary on Sloane and Naomi, because I think it is very important to acknowledge when friends are treating you poorly and how to talk about it.
Yeah.
And that is that the communication is a defining factor of what is toxic and what is not.
Which brings us to our next slide.
Giving parts of yourself.
Friendship and vampirism.
Yeah, so
Um,
Naomi Sloane, she just kind of like I spoke about this earlier, but Sloane, she chopped parts of herself off and off and off and off for several different people, but mostly she just chopped parts of herself off from herself.
Yeah.
And she gave up living. And I know we talked about it, but she gave up living. And then it's very ironic that the only way she learns to live is by becoming undead, right? But it also, I think, revitalized her relationship with Naomi in a way that I think if they had stayed the course, never would have.
Yeah. I think if they had stayed human, eventually,
I
if
think they would have drifted
nothing had
apart.
changed, they would have drifted apart. And instead, this event is a catalyst for
them.
Yeah. It like reforges their relationship and makes it stronger. And, now
I
it's
love
presumably going to last forever.
And I love that Rachel gives Sloane and Naomi both several chances to leave each other, even after they've turned into vampires. Because there's so many points in the book where Naomi could have made the choice to just like ditch Sloane, or could have gone on her own way, or Sloane, and you see it, Sloane takes liberties with their friendship. Sloane, that's how Sloane ends up getting in trouble with the oh my god, I don't remember her name. She calls everybody
Alice.
Birdie. Alice, yes.
Yeah.
With Alice.
Miss Alice.
Yes. Which
chowing down.
Who saves her in that anyways? Like by the end of the day, like it's not, I could be remembering this wrong, but I don't think I am. It's not the boy. It's not the hot guy. The person who saves her is Naomi.
But also herself.
That's true.
Like, and I think that's important. Like that Sloane saves herself. And I don't know if it was intentional or I am overthinking vampire lore. But the fact that it was mentioned several times that the first blood Sloane drank was her own. And I'm like, so she sired herself?
Oh yeah, because
that's wild.
Henry makes a point that if, like, when you turn people, you give parts of yourself to them.
Yes.
Like
and he didn't want to do that with her.
Right. He didn't want to give parts of himself to her, because a piece, like, not only do they lose a part of who they are, but the person that they're turning, they gain something, but it's not something that they necessarily like.
And they're like tied together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ayana says hot guy sired her so she wouldn't be bound to him.
Which was baller on his head.
Really was. I was like, this guy seems like a good dude. I hope I'm not proved wrong.
I spent so much of this book gaslighting myself into thinking Henry was going to be a bad guy. So much of this book, I was like, I don't know if any of you guys follow, I can't remember her name, Elizabeth Wheatley. I don't know if many of you guys follow her. She's another author on Instagram, but and TikTok, but she has the book goblin is her sketch, and she like wears scarves and stuff. She's like, book goblin. Really cute. I love her. There was one today where book goblin was sitting over the book with a cast iron skillet and was threatening the character in the book, and was like, she's like, well, you're not going to hit the book, are you? And Bookoblin's like, character don't know that. I'm going to scare character to stop doing dumb stuff. And I was like, I love this so much. That was how I felt majority of the time reading So Thirsty with Henry. I was like, I swear to God, boy, if you're the bad one, I'm going to be so mad.
I was very glad he was not the bad one.
I was very glad he was a good noodle.
Me freaking too. But also about the siring, at the end, I think I'm remembering this right. When Naomi's lost all the blood, she gives Naomi her blood. So she sires Naomi as well.
Well, I don't think you can sire somebody if they've already died. Like if they've
True,
already
but
interned,
like
right?
symbolically, I wonder if it would be the same as like she's already a vampire. It can't make her a vampire again, but it's the equivalent of like
Ah,
giving
a part of
part of
yourself.
yourself. And it's just another decision that Sloane made at the end of no, I really can't live without her. Like
Yeah. Well, because
blood of my blood.
blood of my blood.
Speaking of blood,
Yeah. Developed appetites, wants versus needs.
yes.
This is when I feel like we chat about Alice.
Yes. And the feeders.
Yes, thirsty. An allegory for wanting as
Yeah, women not being allowed to just want things for the sake of it. There has to be a reason, or you have to be a specific type of woman. Like,
yeah.
you can't just want things, which ties back into what we were saying about aging is the reason people are so afraid of aging. And older women, is because they are more in tune with their wants and needs.
Europe.
Just wanting to do it. They let go of the shame that comes with wanting something.
They're like, people don't notice us anyways, so why not? Might as well be happy. Like if people like that's the thing. If you're damned if you do and damned if you don't, do the thing that makes you happy.
Right.
Just do it.
Nothing makes me happier than little old ladies with like bright pink hair.
Oh my God, nothing makes me happier than an old lady with colored hair. Oh,
like, yes.
I'm like, you figured it out. They'll always see me too. They'll like see me and they're like, you figured it out early. And I'm like, I like you. You want to go get breakfast sometime? Like at 8:30 in the morning?
Yeah, you're a disgusting morning person. Now you can have breakfast with the
cool
grannies. Old ladies.
Yeah, yeah. It makes me happy. Love old people. And then there's also the shame of wanting, right? That we have to talk about because that is Sloane's biggest problem throughout the whole book is she doesn't just deny herself things because like, oh, she doesn't deny herself things because like, I don't know how, let me rephrase this. The whole reason she denies herself is because of the shame she feels for when she did give herself the things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and how she was judged and how all of the people around her pushed her into all of these other situations that she probably wouldn't have fallen into if she never felt shame for what she was doing in the first place.
Yeah, and it wasn't even her fault. Like it was revenge porn.
Yep.
Which there are laws against now. And but shout out to Madame. Oh my God, why has my brain forgotten her name already? The French lady. Who just went through that horrific rape trial against her husband, and her big point was
Oh.
that women shouldn't feel shame that this happened to them. Like, men should feel shame that they did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's kind of where Sloane's problem started too, is that
Yeah, nobody made him feel
society's
bad for
told
doing
her.
it.
Yeah, that's never even mentioned, like, except for the fact that Naomi knocked him out, which go Naomi.
Hell
Um,
yeah.
and it's gotten to the point where I think there's a part where she mentions, like, Naomi would just eat the cake, like, whereas I would calculate all the calories and then not let myself have it. I'm like, girl, eat the
Eat the
cake.
cake.
Eat the cake. At least eat part of the cake. God, please do something that makes you smile. But
Nobody,
she's
and
been
that's
so
the thing.
conditioned.
Nobody wants to be around somebody that's miserable all the time. Like,
Right.
it makes it hard. And I think that's a big thing to acknowledge with Sloane and Naomi is being around somebody who does nothing but deny themselves means that you're denying others too. Because how are you able to like have how are you able to have those new experiences, and how are you able to live joyfully and have meaningful connections with a person when you're denying yourself,
Yeah.
though, like you're denying yourself the ability, right? Like it's inherently you're just stopping
And then also
any
you're
joy.
making choices for that person. Like, they can't
You've robbed their
enjoy.
autonomy. Yep.
Yeah, there's things they won't be able to enjoy because you won't
Yeah,
engage in
she was
it as
actually
well.
terrifying because she had so much power by having that perception. Absolutely.
For real.
Um, and then we have
Miss Alice and the Feeders.
God.
So creepy.
I was telling Laura, I don't know how many of you have read the Throne of Glass series, but she was giving me mad Baba Yaga vibes.
Right.
Baba Yellow Legs. Sorry, Baba
That
Yellow
was
Legs.
Aelin going into the nice old fortune telling witch's hut. This isn't going
Oh,
to end well. I'm in danger.
help. Because old women can't do anything.
Of course not.
They don't have
She's just a
knowledge.
nice looking old lady. Like, she said she'd do this.
Did
She
anybody
said she
else
knows them.
did anybody else think that she looked like a botched Dolly Parton?
I didn't think of that, but I love it.
That's how I saw her. I was like, she's got to be a botched Dolly Parton. I was like, that's just how I see her in my head.
Oh, that's
Bad
fantastic.
vibes. I could see that.
I could see that. I could too. I like that's now how it is.
Botched Dolly Parton. Especially because she calls everybody Birdie. I was like, oh
Right?
yeah, get it. That's some Appalachian shit. I love that. Let's go.
And just the idea of the feeders that there are.
They consume, like, they don't just eat for sustenance, they eat for fun, which is insane, right? Like
Right, and it's
it's
not
another
just
one of those wants
drinking the
versus needs.
blood. Like, they're actually eating. Sorry,
No?
eating people. Like,
Well, and not just people, because
it's,
if I remember correctly, she also will eat her own kind. That's part of
I
what
think
got
so.
Alice. That's part of what got Sloane trapped. 'Cause she wouldn't join her, so she was like, "Well, if you won't join me, I'll just eat you." Like,
Right, like, and also just thinking about the logistics of it here. Like, they said one of the people that she had tied up was missing, like, whole ass limbs, which
yeah,
means she must have some way of some kind of at least basic first aid to be keeping them alive.
which that's one of those things where it's
That's
like,
a whole other level of, yeah.
yeah, Yeah. Also, she has me. Like, that's the thing. They go to her because she knows how to do shit. Like, the car breaks down, so they're like, let's go see old Alice in the woods. Like, no vampire
No
kink
vampire
shaming here.
king.
Enjoy a fingy or two, girl. You deserve it.
But you stop at a fingy. You
Yeah.
don't have to eat a whole leg. That's
Nah.
just.
Have you tried one? I don't know.
I haven't, to be fair, no. I mean,
I've
in
read a
pork
lot of
belly, it's so
cannibalism
good.
books lately. I've been
There
reading
are.
a lot of cannibalism books lately, and I'm like, y'all
Hmm.
doing okay? Y'all all right? Y'all good?
You
So
got
our
enough to eat? Everything okay?
get the fuck out of here, Laura. Oh God.
And now
Okay.
we can talk about Kayleigh's favorite thing.
What?
Dream on!
Oh, I'm so excited about this. Okay, so the dream mall, right? Sloan and Naomi, they have their dream mall. They have this place that they think of, this fictional place that is perfect. That it is the place that when you die, you're going to meet your bestie and it's going to be everything. And I want to know, type it out in the comments, guys. I want to know what y'all's dream malls are. And if it's a dream mall, I'm cool with it. I support it. A lot of us are Northeastern girls, and I would absolutely support that. Um, because I have my dream mall. Like, I know that if Laura and I had gotten into this situation, I know exactly the place that I'd be like, this is where we're going when we die. Please meet me here. And it it is what? Did you just say that's weird?
No, I said I can't wait.
Oh, okay. Don't
It's
get
fine.
too excited. Don't get too excited. I don't know if you guys have heard the story of how Laura and I became friends. But it's but it feels very similar to how Sloan and Naomi became friends, where they were like, cool girl, too cool for me. And then other person being like, well, I think you're cool too. No, you can't possibly think I'm cool, right? Kind of situation. That's sort of how Laura and I became friends because
It's
Laura
true.
it's very true. Uh Laura, before I changed so much of her psyche that she had to be loud, um one day it was like the first day we had class together and I had worn a crime scene scarf. And as the class was over, it was our mythology class. Um, as that class was over and I'm walking out and I'm gathering my stuff, she goes very timid and quiet and shy like. She goes, um, do you do you listen to My Favorite Murder? And I was like, huh? What? And she goes, oh, never mind, and like tries to scamper off. She will say she did not scamper. She scampered. It was very close to
I
scampering.
scampered.
She scampered,
That's
and I was like, wait, no, come back, because the only word I got in that conversation was murder, and I was like, wait, no, come back. I love murder. And so I had to have her come back to re-ask me her question, and I was like, wait, what were you saying? And she goes, um, do you like there's a podcast called My Favorite Murder. Do you listen to it? Do you like it? And I was like, no, I've never heard of it. Like straight up, I was she looked at me, she was like, oh, okay, never mind. And I was, no, but I want to. And then we walked. I was like, what's your next class? And we found out we had the same class together next. Um, and so my dream mall, this is the long and short to say that my dream mall is the class that we met in. And when we die, we're just going to go back to our mythology class where we met, which
Aww.
I think is so wholesome and is so funny.
I thought you were
Um,
gonna say IHOP.
oh no, that's hell. That's hell. That is not the dream mall.
It's the
The
hell
dead
mall.
mall. That is the dead
Dead
mall.
mall.
IHOP is the dead mall. Ugh. Okay,
Ugh,
hold on. We got Taylor. Taylor has responded with
it
a classic
says
2000s to 2010s mall with people watching a Wetzel pretzel, an old school hot topic with a fountain in the middle that people just start people just starting throwing coins in, and is now a weird wishing well. Yes, 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 yes. But yes, I'm very intrigued as to like
I love
what
that.
would be y'all's dream malls, because yeah, I I think it's a really cool concept that it's tied to the person, right? Like it's tied to this very specific memory, this very specific vibe, this very specific point in time. And God, I just think it's so cool. And it was captured so well. Hi, Jeff.
Kayleigh says hi.
Mr.
Mr. Tartan says hello.
Tartan.
Communist boyfriend, Mr. Tartan.
Communist boyfriend, Mr. Tartan. Absolutely. Oh, just the Cheesecake Factory in the mall, to be honest. You know what? I'll allow it. There's so many
Hell yeah.
options on that menu. It's a variety of things, to be quite honest.
And then Claudia says,
My dream mall would be kind of like
think
the
of
Encanto
me.
house. Ooh, where each room
Casita.
is its own world. One would have the Beauty and Beast library with all the books I've ever wanted to read in another one. Hell yeah! Go, Claudia! It'd be my teenage room, but how I've always wanted it to be. It would be
Sleepover set.
sleepover
Hell
set. I
yeah.
don't know. Hell yeah! I'm loving this.
That's awesome.
Honestly, just the Whataburger outside the mall. Oh!
Hanging out in the parking lot outside the mall would be.
Yeah, yeah. The one off of El Dorado. That Whataburger.
Right.
Yes.
Oh,
I need Sydney
fantastic.
to confirm that it's that Whataburger, the El Dorado Whataburger.
Just the
The one in front of the Walmart. Yeah. She's like, I'm not gonna dox us. Yes.
right.
Yes. Shout out
Would
the
be a
24
Lush store, absolutely.
shout out to the 24-hour Whataburger.
And they would always let you play with the bath bombs.
Yes. Allow Google Chrome to find devices on local networks? Yeah, sure, I guess.
Mine would be.
This is when I find out that we're not really best friends and you hate me.
No, we
You
are.
just
My thing was
tolerate me.
what I was thinking, I was like in your car, like scream singing to music, trying to not go to Cleveland.
All right. All right. Very Thelma and Louise. I'll take it. I'll take
Right.
it. I'll allow it.
Driving all the way to Galveston to try and find a Shamrock Shake at McDonald's.
You know, there were times when I used to just call up my friends and I'd kidnap them in my car to go on random ass journeys with me. I was like, you know what? It's March. You know what McDonald's should have? Shamrock Shake. You know what McDonald's doesn't have? Shamrock Shakes. So we went to maybe like 6 different McDonald's between where we live and Galveston, which
Galveston.
I will let you guys all know that is a 45-minute to an hour drive from my house. Oh, and I was at the apartment at the time. So yeah, it was about an hour. Yeah. So
Oh, that was fantastic.
seeing my friend is a wild ride. You never know where it's gonna take you. Could be a McDonald's looking for a Shamrock Shake. Truth. All right. So now we're brought to our parting thoughts.
So the end. We talked a little bit about it. I do wish there'd been a little more. Though I suppose if you want to get deep about it, you could say that it's like life and aging is you always wish there'd be a little more, but
yeah,
you got to be happy with what you got.
Like I don't know, man. The ending of this book made me ugly cry. Like I was from the time Naomi got shot to the time like Sloane brought her back, I was ugly crying. I I can post pictures in the Discord for those who would like to see it. Um but it was like American Rapture bad for me. I was like
Aw.
um yeah, because I just couldn't handle the thought of finally making peace with your best friend and finally like learning to fully love and accept them and yourself and then losing them when you're supposed to be undead forever together. The ending was what I wanted Thelma and Louise ending to be. Look, guys.
So for those of you that don't know, for our movie this month, we did Thelma and Louise on Rachel's suggestion. What Claudia and I learned was that Kayleigh didn't know how Thelma and Louise ended until
I've
we
never
watched it.
seen it. I'm like the best friend to watch movies with too, because I've
You
literally
really are. Like,
I've never seen a movie. I swear to God. People are like, let's
you've
watch this.
somehow never learned these pop culture iconic moments in movies, or you've forgotten them. So it's the best thing. I got to watch Alien with Kayleigh for the first time. No idea what happened to John Hurt. Getting to watch someone react to that fresh was a joy. Because most of those movies you get spoiled for you in some way because just the cultural zeitgeist.
Nah.
Kayleigh is pure, and it's a delight to watch these movies with her.
Because it's like when people, this is the best part of having my kind of ADHD, is I don't really care 9 times out of 10 if people tell me spoilers, because my poor little goldfish brain's too busy trying to stay alive. It forgot what they just told me. Such a sweet summer child. So I'll be like, hell yeah, talk about that book. Let's go. Use character names all you want, honey. That'll be surefire for me to not remember. Like, also, if y'all have
Movies
any
that make
movies
you
you watch,
ugly cry.
let me know.
Never
Ooh,
Let Me Go. I
ooh.
will. I love that movie. I can't actually finish the
Oh,
damn book because I cry too hard.
Everything Everywhere All at Once makes me really ugly cry. Like, really, really ugly cry.
Never ending story.
Oh, yeah.
I will never not cry when Artax.
Artax!
Swamp of Sadness.
Harold and Maude. Oh. I also will cry over this. I feel like this is so lame to say, but I cry over Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I cry every time.
Yeah.
Every time I cry.
The first time I watched The Notebook, I was horribly hungover.
Oh
And I just
no!
remember like hyperventilating. I was crying so hard at the
Oh no!
It was just like
On that note, you could also watch The Vow. I'm pretty sure that's the one with Rachel McAdams and Channing Tatum. I think it's called The Vow. That one's pretty and About
Aw.
Time. About Time is pretty sad too. That
Ooh,
that
I
movie.
haven't seen I Saw the TV Glow. Yeah, I
Oh,
really
I
want
haven't
to.
seen that yet. I hear I have to be ready,
Oh, I want to see it so bad.
but that was just heartbreaking. Yeah, I can
I have
believe
to
that.
think of more movies that make me cry really hard because there's a lot. I'm like my brain's flooded.
Anytime
Oh,
Justice
Phantom of the
Smith is
Opera.
in a movie, um, I know I'm just gonna have a lot of emotions because he plays like you're like ace autistic sad boy so good.
We listen and we don't judge.
Prepare yourselves.
Is that the one with Gerard Butler though?
Yeah, that's the Emmy Rossum and Gerard Butler one. with
me just
Patrick
Gerard Butler.
Wilson. Yeah, I said it, the Conjuring
Oh, yeah.
motherfucker. Patrick Wilson is fucking what's his face? Raph
Ah,
or whatever.
do you know Gerard Butler's a lawyer?
What?
He's a solicitor. Or he
What?
was before he started acting.
All right.
Right? Crazy. And my final question for everyone is, if you'd been given the choice, would you have taken Henry up on it? Would you become a vampire?
Oh, absolutely.
Me too.
Yeah.
Like, my body wouldn't hurt anymore. I could have all the time in the world to read and do whatever I wanted. And also, like Naomi pointed out, it had never occurred to me, oh my God, I could smoke again. It wouldn't kill me. I could do it.
I this is gonna sound so
Hi, I
effed
have a
up.
problem. I quit smoking a long time ago and I miss it. I'm Chandler from Friends.
You are Chandler from Friends. You 100% are Chandler from Friends. Now
You
that
bring
you
up
bring up
smoking.
smoking.
Right? The possibilities are endless once I realized, oh my God, I could do all these things that I try not to do because they'll kill me and they're very bad for me. But if my body's already dead,
I think it kind of depends on how
I could smoke.
how I get changed. Because if I get changed like the same and my current mentee state stays the same, I don't want it. I don't want to be changed if I have to live like this forever. But like, I don't know if I get changed and I'm like the best version of myself, right? Like I get changed and the chemical things start actually working, then maybe. Yeah. Yeah, because I realized that my medications wouldn't work if I stopped because they would act like food. So I would just have to like
Hmm.
drink people that were on those medications if
Your
that would
vendetta.
work.
Absolutely.
I'd become
Yes.
a vamp and then go mess with an orange. Yes. Yes. I selfishly want to grow old with my partner. Get out of here. That's so cute.
Oh. But
Gross.
what if he could be
I
a
love
vampire
it.
too?
What if you could live forever? I don't
What's the
want
Queen
to live.
song?
Nope, she's straight up Tay-Taying us right now. I don't want to live forever, but I want to keep calling it. Not for him.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah, I think it's important not to be changed into something for someone else.
Yeah.
I think you will never be happy. Um, yeah, if it's, I think that's the thing, right? It has to be free will. That's the caveat, right? Like it
Yeah.
has to be free will.
Also, that's another like vamp lore thing I really liked in this is that,
Consent.
well, yes, consent was important. But um like they didn't become instantly like perfect physical perfect versions of themselves. Like they stayed the same, like because
Yeah, but you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know if you became perfect or not because you're not able to look in mirrors.
well, presumably Naomi and Sloane know what one another looks like enough to be like, whoa, all your wrinkles are gone.
Yeah, but that's the other thing too, right? Like those are intricacies that we only notice as like an individual because we've seen our face like our
Like 3
entire
times too
life.
much.
You know what I mean? Like Laura, I cannot tell you if you have like I have zero idea what color your eyes are. I have no
Well,
clue.
they change color, so that's a hard question.
That doesn't help, but I have no clue what color your eyes are. Laura, how we spent every single day together in 2020 and I still don't know what color your eyes are. Like, do you really think that if you
Are
got
your
turned into
eyes
a vampire?
brown?
Yeah, because I make shit jokes all the time. Yeah, I say the only thing good about being a brown-eyed girl is Van Morrison.
Oh, that was a joke in Archer, right? It's like, you're so full of shit, your eyes are brown.
That's me, baby.
Oh, good
What was
point,
it? Alice
Taylor.
older,
Yeah.
so she had wrinkles, right? Well, yeah. I mean, like you'll like you'll be changed at the age that you are. You know.
Yeah.
So like,
But like in
there's some etch a sketching that can't come undid.
a lot of vampire stories are like when you get turned into a vampire, you're
Suddenly
perfect
beautiful.
and flawless. And
Yeah,
this was like,
looking at you, Bella. Looking at you, Bella and Edward, and you sparkle like your shit don't stink.
do you think they're? Oh wait, no, never mind.
What?
The thought has gone.
Oh, I was like, I'm so curious now.
Well, I was about to say,
Do you think they poop?
I was going to say, do you think their poops sparkle?
They can't poop because in order to
But
poop,
then
you have
they
to
can't.
filter through.
Yeah.
You have to
Then
eat.
my brain realized, and I was like, oh wait, yeah.
They probably
if they
just pee a
could.
lot. I think they just probably pee a lot.
But would they? If blood is all the nourishment they need, wouldn't they? Well, I
Blood
guess
has a lot of
eventually-
water.
Yeah, they would have to get rid of it at some point, otherwise they'd bloat up like
Yeah.
big red currants.
Yeah. I like that we have spiraled
some-
so far off
I
the
know.
point that we're now talking about digestive fallacies.
tracks of vampires.
Yes.
Anyway,
There's just no
so
progression in age. Excellent.
watch-alikes.
Yeah, so these are our watch-alikes. Both of them were given to us by Rachel Harrison because she's amazing. Wow, 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 wow. These were her watch-alike recommendations for So Thirsty. She felt like So Thirsty is Let the Right One In meets Thelma and Louise. And after watching Thelma and Louise, I absolutely agree.
And then we have relikes.
Our read-alikes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I liked these because they both deal with complex friendships and vampirism in positive and negative ways.
Mm-hmm.
And the ways that carrying people around forever can sometimes be a blessing and sometimes a giant curse.
And what was it you said was the difference between a cure and a curse earlier?
Stew. The only difference between a cure and a curse is you. Actually, it's the letter S. But, you know, that's
so we're going with stew.
Stew. Oh, yeah. Well, I was going to say, like, good news. When you read Reluctant Immortals, you can... Nope, that's dead to the world in the archives because that one never...
Oh, we didn't do it on StreamYard yet, did we?
We didn't do StreamYard until... I think our first StreamYard was Carmilla.
Yeah. Well, we did Reluctant Immortals was one of our very first books. We might still have the...
I think our first one was... Hold on, I can tell you what our first one was. Our first one was the first one that we have recorded would be oh my god.
Oh, we still have the Reluctant Immortals channel on Discord.
We do. We have a lot of chats in there. And if you message in any of our previous archived books as you read them, people will respond and chat with you. That's why we keep them saved.
Yeah. I really liked Reluctant Immortals. It spoke to me.
It was very, very good.
Very good.
I just put it on hold on Libby. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And the Paul Bears Club was fantastic.
Oh
my god. Did you just unlock the door?
The cover is gorgeous.
What?
I feel like Gwendolyn Keast has such a good she always has such good covers. for her books. They always look, and they're always very unique.
Oh yeah. So our crypt rating out of a 5.5 coffin system, well, out of a 5 coffin system. I gave it a 5. Laura gave it a 4.5. So your average is a 4.75 from the two of us.
Put your ratings in the chat. We would love to see what everyone else thought.
Absolutely.
I still have to read The Haunting of Elkwood.
Haunting of Elkwood is nominated for a Bram Stoker right now. It's on the preliminary ballot. Yee yee.
So many Friends of the Crypt nominated on the ballot.
So proud. So proud.
4 for Claudia.
Hell yeah. Everyone's like, it was a 5 for me too. That's right. Up top.
Kayleigh.
Also, I'm so sorry that I've played with slime this entire evening, guys.
I didn't even know you were playing with slime.
It was keeping me focused and my mouth relatively shut.
Oh, that's fair.
I have to have something to do with my hands.
Yeah.
So I was playing.
I'm gonna bump it up,
buddy.
Claudia. I think I want to read something ghosty next. So
Ooh.
After I finish Witchcraft for Wayward Girls.
So good.
Yeah. Rated a 5.
I currently am reading.
Ayana, are you still here? I want to know what you rated it. You said you didn't love it.
Is the Ayana in the room with us? Ayana, is the Ayana in the room with us?
2.5. Woof. Fair. Fair.
Rough. That's fair though, because if you have a hard time with Sloane, I think it's a rough. Like if you're, yeah, that's fair. That's more than fair. I understand that. Witchcraft right now is so good. So good. You can message me.
I love when people have different ratings than we do.
Me too.
Because I like knowing why. You don't have to tell us. I'm like,
you can DM us if you feel like it. It's cool.
Yeah. But I'm not gonna like put you on blast.
No, we won't put you on blast, and we won't try to convert you. Like
first Rachel book.
No,
I would say it's not my favorite Rachel book. I like it a lot, but so far my favorite Rachel book has been Such Sharp Teeth.
Oh, it's so good. I love it. See, this one is my favorite. Such Sharp Teeth. It took Such Sharp Teeth this place. But
I haven't read Black Sheep or Cackle.
You haven't read Cackle?
Nope. I have it somewhere.
Oh my god, I thought you had.
No, I haven't read Cackle.
Wow.
Uh-uh.
Cackle is another good read-alike for this, except it deals more independently than in a friend dynamic. It's a lot more about learning to love yourself than how do you love someone else and yourself at the same time. I read Cackle for Maggie. Oh, wait, Ayana, aren't you also reading Witchcraft for Maggie right now too? Oh, the return was.
I did like the return. It was so weird.
Oh, I loved that.
I can put it on the left side. Oh, we're still cheating.
Yeah, our next book, Meddling Kids.
Which we talked about at the beginning. I just wanted to put
Scooby-Doo Wattpad. Let's go.
Yes. Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
Also, we will tell you
a
right
group
now.
chat. Yeah, we do. We should do it. Here's a
yes. You know what?
This.
Can you make us a thread in the Discord for Witchcraft?
I can.
I love you. That way people who haven't read it don't have to deal with it, us being annoying in books.
Because I can make it within another one, I think, right?
I think you can make it a thread.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do it as a thread in books. Meddling
Witchcraft
kids.
for wayward girls.
Hell yeah.
Starter messages required.
Here it is, bitches. I mean, witches. I mean, what up, my witches? I love Laura. Oh, God. There we go. Looking forward to seeing what everyone thinks about witchcraft. Also, meddling kids. And I will tell you guys, we already know what movie night is going to be. So please buckle up. And please plan to join us because it is so much fun
We're gonna have so much fun.
When we have more than like 2 people on with Laura and I, we will leave our cameras on and you get to see all of our reactions, which is like people who came and watched Night of the Demon with us. Yeah, everybody was aware of how fun that was. So our movie is going to be the Scooby-Doo movie because it fits so perfectly. And we're very excited. I will definitely be there for this movie night, I promise. Yes. So excited. We're thinking about making it a double feature with the Scooby-Doo 2 because I like both of them and they're both really funny to me. But Laura suggested the double feature and I was like, oh, don't threaten me with a good time.
I can look at myself naked. Yay!
Yeah. Please. I think movie night is the 5th. Hold on, I can tell you guys. So you guys can save it in your calendars. Movie night. We'll post the calendar and the winner tomorrow. But movie night will be the 15th. So it's the Saturday evening of it's the Saturday evening of Valentine's Day weekend.
The 16th is a Sunday?
No, yeah, the 16th is a Sunday. Don't get me started.
Weird.
Yeah, don't get me started on that.
We're only commenting on that because we have a market to do.
Yeah.
So we're like, that's a weird day for a market.
It is a weird day for a market, but we'll see. I'm excited. I'm excited. I get to see family.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
Where are you? Alrighty.
Well.
So with that, this has been So Thirsty. Thank you everybody for joining us. If you have friends who read it, feel free to share the YouTube link with them. We check comments periodically and like to see, what everybody thinks. Our discussions stay on our YouTube. We talked about our next book. Oh, themes.
Yes. If you have theme suggestions for March,
let us know. Last year our March theme was March Madness. Our first YouTube discussion was Isabel Cañas.
Wow, so god, this is our 1 year StreamYard anniversary.
Yeah, I think it was Vampires of El Norte because the one we did before that would have been, or maybe not, because the one before that was Mr. Magic. We did Mr. Magic for January, and we were definitely on here for that. What did we do for December? No, December was our.
Oh, because that would have been with Angela, and I'm pretty sure.
I think we did it. I think Kenzie uploaded it.
I think she uploaded it. Yeah, we did it on Discord and tried to record it somehow and uploaded it.
So yeah, Mr. Magic would have been the first.
Oh.
So January.
Well, yeah. January. So it's our
It is our
1 year
1-year Discord
StreamYard
anniversary. I mean,
anniversary.
our 1-year StreamYard
StreamYard anniversary.
anniversary. Woohoo!
Aw,
A whole
yay.
year's worth of content for you guys
A
right
whole year's
here.
worth of the duck.
A whole year, yeah, a whole year's worth of
Because
our
we
lovely little
refuse to
duck.
pay for the pro.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
like,
you can
no.
send us donations. We'll give you our Venmo if you're annoyed with the StreamYard duck. But at this point, we just think of him as like a kind little extra buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, he's Gobby and Ghoulies' little mascot.
Yeah, he's like Gobby
They're
and
our
Ghoulies'
mascot,
weird
and he's their
cousin.
mascot.
Yeah, it's like Gobby and Ghoulies' pet. It's like Chandler and Joey and the duck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
But yes, thank you so much for joining us. This
Yes.
was fun.
Y'all have a wonderful night, and we will see you guys next month. Bye, y'all.
Bye.